just got wrecked.
He needs some milk.
Wham bam spiggity splam. Welcome back to the CryptoZombie channel. What is going on, guys? How are you today? Hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope you're not feeling down because the Bitcoin price has fallen down yet another 1%. However, we do have one coin shining today. We do have Cardano. Cardano was in fact listed on Coinbase Pro, which means inevitably it will be coming to Coinbase. So congratulations to all of the ADA holders out there. I have chosen to wear my red shirt today to kind of blend into the background. Also, it is St. Patrick's Day. If I was to wear a green shirt, I would blend in literally to the background. I'd be a floating head. So yeah, by the way, to everyone celebrating St. Patrick's Day, be safe out there, okay? If your profits are down today, okay, don't be taking out the sorrows on the bottle. That is not the answer, right? But having a look right now, Bitcoin is continuing to fall, and I want to point out the fact that we have put in a death cross on the 4-hour chart. We have the 20 moving below the 50. Now, the last time that this happened, we had an 18% pullback. So should we be worried? Is this signaling that Bitcoin is setting up for a massive drop? Well, in yesterday's video, we did go over some of the bearish scenarios. If you didn't check out yesterday's video, pause this video, watch yesterday's video, come back because we're not getting bearish today. In today's video, I want to talk about what is happening with Bitcoin. Did we actually pump too fast? Did Bitcoin's price just accelerate way too quick, way too fast, super overheated? We've seen whale wallets offloading their Bitcoin, cashing out, right? What is happening? So is this the calm before the storm? Well, I'm going to tell you I actually think it is, and it's probably not going to be in favor for the bears. So we're going to talk about that right now. I'll show you my exact targets. I'll let you know what I expect. And if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider it. And without further ado, let's get into the charts. Oops, looks like we're already there. So having a look at this 4-hour, you can see right here, we are in fact having a death cross, okay? We're having this 20 moving average move below the 50 moving average. Now keep in mind, this is on the 4-hour, right? So it shouldn't really be too big of a concern, as it's not really a macro moving average. But you can see over here, the last time, in fact, we did have this exact same scenario where we had the blue crossing below the yellow. If we actually take a measured move from that point down to the bottom, you could see that Bitcoin did, in fact, put in an 18.6% dip. So does that mean that we're due for another dip? I mean, if we were to fall down 18.6%, that would put Bitcoin roughly around the $46,000 level. Interestingly enough, that is where we also have a lot of whale accumulation. Now, before everybody freaks out, I did have one spot marked back here. You could see that sometimes in these uptrends, we get what appears to be a cross, but in turn, it actually is a fake out where we have the two lines start to touch, and then the next day they separate, and we have something that looks like this, which is what we got back in December of 2020. So could this just be another fake out? Well, having a look right here, the one thing I want to point is that Bitcoin has been hopping nicely along this trend. You can see ever since we started the trend back around January 27th, even though, yes, we got extremely off this, we came down, we had one bounce, two bounce, three bounce, and another bounce. Actually, technically, we had two more bounces if you actually count yesterday and today. So does this mean that we're doing just fine? We're just moving upwards? Well, like I said, guys, we are putting in higher highs and higher lows, but is there that potential that we could fall and break down and have to retest some of these levels? Could it even be possible that Bitcoin is looking to put in a giant double bottom, maybe even falling below the whale levels? Well, one thing I want to point out, if you have been using this indicator, you have been absolutely smashing it on the channel. You've been making some sick gains. Congratulations, guys. We have been absolutely killing it, trading this 21 exponential. You can see right here, excellent time to get into longs and accumulate as long as you're doing low leverage. Boom, here, another amazing time, boom, and it looks like we are touching it again. So if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, check out my tutorial on Bybit. There is a $200 bonus available to anyone using the link below. If you want to check out that tutorial, how to trade specifically, popping up above right now. But hopping over here, you can see that we have had a beautiful, beautiful time. Now, let's just say, hypothetically, it does fall below the 21 exponential. Where would I expect it to get bought up? Well, you can see the last time, right here, we touched the 50 on the daily. And look at this, guys. If we look at this right now, that's sitting at, well, would you know, $47,000. Wow, it's funny how everything just seems to sort of be lining up with that level, don't you think? Although, you know what they say, if everyone's looking at the same chart, the same level, probably not gonna happen. A lot of people are assuming we're gonna go to that $47,000 level, right? We could get front run. It could be a fake out. We are in an ascending wedge right here, and I do believe that minimally we have at least one more shot. Even if this is totally bearish and you think this is the top, I still think that Bitcoin minimally is going to hit the top of this channel, and I would be looking for Bitcoin to hit somewhere between $68,000 and $72,000 before I even start worrying about another major correction. Keep in mind, we've already had our 30% and our 22% correction, right? So there is this level right here in the $50,000 blue box territory, which is a possible area. And as I said, lots of whale demand down around $47,438. It is kind of interesting and coincidental that all of these are pointing to this level. Like I said, lots of smart money is looking for this. So, will we go down to those levels? Well, Key Young Ju says he thinks that Bitcoin would take some time to get another leg up in terms of demand and supply. He says too many Bitcoin holdings in USD compared to stablecoin holdings on spot exchanges. Bitcoin market cap is too big to get another leg up by leveraging stablecoin market cap solely. So, should we be worried? Does this mean that we have to just grind sideways, slowly, maybe even bleed down for another week or so? Well, as I told you guys, I do believe that this is the calm before the storm. We have something major. Now, keep in mind that the weakness in Bitcoin right now came during a time where we're seeing a strength in US bond yields. This is a classic drain on Bitcoin's performance. On-chain metrics show broad strength, however, while derivative funding rates also cooled, fueling bullish sentiment continued, especially on the spot markets. Right now, you have trader Scott Melker. He says, Bitcoin will continue to rise and rise in the foreseeable future. We don't need charts or technical analysis to tell us what is painfully obvious. And we know Bitcoin's going up, guys, at the end of the day. But I know all you guys want to get in your sweet, sweet gains. You know, we want to make those 5Xs overnight. Well, people are increasingly interested in buying Bitcoin as a hedge against central bank behavior, Scott says. And of course, they have infinite money printing, while at the same time, we have the supply of Bitcoin rapidly being drained. But let me tell you something right now. Let's discuss, okay? Is Bitcoin overheated? I've seen a lot of people telling me that it's going up way too fast. It's not sustainable. There's no way we can keep this going. The Bitcoin price has to fall lower. Well, I actually want to turn it over to Case Bitcoin. Now, they actually had a series of tweets with charts that I think are worth mentioning on this channel. They said Bitcoin's price moves fast, but how fast is too fast? A look at Bitcoin's double time. First of all, double time is the number of days it takes Bitcoin to double to any given price. For example, right now, the doubling time is 75 days. In other words, 75 days ago, the price was half of what it is today. Y'all with me? All right, great. So let's move on. How low can it get? So in 2017, the fast... I apologize for the first 8 minutes of the video, my friends. I just realized that I was using the wrong microphone. Okay, now we've switched to the one that I usually use. Sorry about that. Anyway, how low can it get? In 2017, the fastest doubling pace 12 days happened on December 7th, 9 days before the 3-year peak. In 2013, it got down to 4 days, 1 week before the cycle's peak, okay? So, what about this cycle? Well, so far in the 2020 to 2021 bull market, the fastest pace, 22 days, was reached at the January 7th 42K local peak. We had a similar level, 26 days, happening in August 2017 as price had rallied quickly to $5,000. $5. I wish I bought Bitcoin at $5. Generally, the last few months look like that middle period of the 2017 bull market, with doubling times mostly under 100 days, but never under 20. It will be interesting to see if doubling times as fast at the end of 2013 and 2017 cycles happen this time around. However, having a look at how fast we've had the doubling in the past, considering that it's been 75 days for us right now, This suggests that we have a lot more room to grow. We have not seen the blow off top. This is not how tops end. This is not how the tops of cycles burst. They end with giant wicks to the upside, crazy $10,000, $20,000 days, right? Massive liquidations to the upside and to the downside. We're not seeing that. In fact, it's been very boring lately, right? And that is not characteristic of tops. So that's why, my friends, I say that this is the calm before the storm. Mike Novogratz of Galaxy Digital says that he does remain bullish on Bitcoin. The former hedge fund manager claims that he bought more coins at $56,500. During his recent appearance on CNBC Squawk Box, Novogratz mentioned that a lot of people would want to stack sats with their incoming stimulus checks. Is this true? Will people actually be buying Bitcoin with their stimulus checks? Well, guess what, guys? We have some data on that. Investment bank Mizuno Securities is reportedly saying that tens of billions of dollars may be used to buy Bitcoin as Americans receive a new batch of direct stimulus payments. In the coming days, Americans can expect a total of $380 billion in stimulus checks as part of U.S. president, he's not the candidate anymore, he is the president, Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief package. According to Yahoo Finance, Mizuno polled 235 respondents with a household income of less than $150,000. Close to 2 out of every 5 said that they would prefer to buy Bitcoin over stocks. In fact, the survey revealed that 10% of the $380 billion aid, or $38 billion roughly, will be used to buy Bitcoin and stocks. Of the $38 billion, most recipients plan to buy Bitcoin, roughly $22.8 billion. So sometimes we have these big purchases from the S&P 500 companies. Other times we get these retail floods, and they calculate that they could see as much as a 2 to 3% increase in Bitcoin's current 1.1 trillion market valuation. Now, you might not think that's a lot, 2 to 3%. However, these institutions, they're not going to want to be getting front run. They're not going to be wanting to let the retail, right, buy and get a better deal than them. And we have seen that every single time Bitcoin has taken a dip this year, and actually most of last year, the institutions were buying the dips. So I really don't know why that would change, which is interesting considering that some people are actually bearish right now. Have fun staying poor. But we're on the brink of Bitcoin's mass adoption. Well, at least that's according to the CEO of Bitcoin investment firm of NYDIG, Robbie Gutman. He's also the co-founder of $10 billion asset manager Stone Ridge. He says in a podcast that some of the firms, this was a podcast that he was on yesterday, he says some of the firm's strategic partners will drastically change their traditional finance landscape. He says, I know, starting more or less next week, you're going to see an absolute drumbeat of pretty game-changing milestones from some of these firms. Gutman didn't say which partners will be making the announcement, but he hinted that the news could involve providing greater access to Bitcoin for the wider public, as well as other products and services. Interestingly, one of the products that NYDIG is going to offer is called the Corporate Treasury, entailing a suite of treasury solutions purposely built to enable corporations to hold Bitcoin. The announcements are going to make progressively new points in Bitcoin adoption, as well as Bitcoin availability. Bitcoin products and services within the existing traditional finance landscape also are going to be a lot easier. Oh wait, you know what, guys? Not to mention the fact that Coinbase has registered 114 million shares of Class A common stock, which is also going to give more people who are probably more comfortable going the traditional route sort of that exposure, right, to cryptocurrency, or at least through something like Coinbase. So I wouldn't be betting against it just yet. In fact, something that we are seeing right now, while Bitcoin does continue to go sideways, is the fact that we have Bitcoin dominance falling. And we've talked about Bitcoin dominance hitting this very important level right here. You could see if I actually zoom out, that it has been the support. And if we do breach below this, you're probably going to see some big moves for altcoins, unless Bitcoin does something like this. But as you can see right here, Ethereum has actually been performing better than Bitcoin. In fact, Ethereum has been dancing very nicely off of this accumulation area, and I have this blue box territory with the low target of around 1661, which is exactly where I do have my longs right now. If you guys are interested, not financial advice, not recommended for beginners. If you guys are interested in learning how to trade altcoins, you can do it over on Bybit. You can also do it on Femex. I have a brand new tutorial popping up above. Also, if you guys are interested in just $10 a month trading fees. I mean, if you trade over on Uniswap, you're talking, I mean, I've had fees up to like $100, which is absolutely crazy. $10 a month. Check out Femex below. Tutorial popping up above. But that being said, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. If you haven't seen these videos that are popping up right here, right now, check them out. Leave the video a like if you appreciated it. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.